Okay, okay, okay. Our God and Master Jesus, we thank you for an opportunity to be in your presence today. We commit ourselves into your hands. We commit today's session into your hands. It is our prayer that you would give us wisdom from above, knowledge from above. We commit our tutor into your hands that, Father, whatever you will be teaching us today, Father, may we understand it clearly. May it be so simple to us to the extent that we would be able to even teach others when we are asked to. We commit everything into your hands and we commit our other colleagues who are yet to join that you'd bring them on board safely. And at the end, glory and honor will be given unto your name. These and many other blessings we ask for your son, Jesus Christ, and we pray. Amen.
Amen. Okay. So straight to the call. Everybody should make sure that they've muted. Now, so today's we are treating channels. It was yesterday and today's project, channels, and then trend lines. So when we say trend lines and channels, they are very simple stuff. You will realize that the previous lessons that we did something on what we call support and resistant lines. And then we came to psychological levels. All of those levels, you would see that they are lines which goes across from the left to the right, right? So there are lines which possibly look something like what I'm about to draw. This can be a support. That can be a resistance. You see, so there are horizontal lines which goes across to the left, to the left to the right, from the left to the right. So these lines that we're talking about, for example, they could be psychological level or support and resistance. It's the same thing, really, right? Now, when we talk about trend lines are lines which follows the trend of the price action. For example, when we look at this place from here, yeah, where I've done the circle, to here. Let's see another one here. To here. To here. You can see the price seems to be going down, down, down. And let's say to somewhere here. You can see that price seems to be going down at all these peaks. Price is going down, all the way down. So let's say if we want to draw a trend line to connect the trend of price, we normally would need 2 points, only 2 points, right? So when we want to draw those 2 points to depict the direction of price, we need trend lines. So for example, we need trend lines to do all those. So to connect those points to show us the direction of price, we can use one of two tools, right? So when you go into this bit, I have started what we call the trend line. So we can use a trend line to draw the trend line, or we can use what we call the ray to draw the trend line. There's a slight difference, but once we've drawn it, you would understand what I'm saying. So for example, realize, oh, price keeps going, coming from all the way down, 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 and we want to connect the trend so that we will just need only 2 points. So we connect from there, first point, second point. You see, so let's say price was there. So this is the first, second point. We knew that price is going to go down. When price comes to this point, it is not a major point that has taken this up. But when it goes to the next point, like where I jotted with the circles, you connect the trend again, ignoring the previous trend, ignoring the previous connection. Do you understand? So you now have the first or the origin of the trend, and then the current trend when we go to, let's say, here. So for example, let me find this tool. Yeah, so let's play this. So we got here, right? So now, when we got to that point, I've cut it now. When we got to that point, let's play it. As we play along, you realize that the trend keeps forming in that direction. Where Let's replay. Where is the play? Okay, yeah, that's it. So let's play quickly. So then price kept forming as we see. And then price kept forming under the trend, but we kept going and going and going. We realized that, okay, if prices kept forming under the trend, what will be the next level of trend that price would hit? We keep going in that direction, yeah? So we keep going and going and going. As we kept going, we realized that, okay, price is still going. And then we had something like a top. Let's pause it. We have something like a top. Now, that invalidates this one. So we bring it down and we draw another trend here. Although it's going through this, we are just only looking for 2 points, yes? And then we connect it. And then that over time becomes the trend, yeah? So it keeps going, going, going. We'll play till where we are currently. Prices coming up. Now we see that it's going again. Let's pause it. So now from the inception, this is another trend. You understand? But all I'm just trying to say is that you can have a clear direction of a trend. And when you have a clear direction of a trend, it therefore means that you can connect at least 2 points to show you the direction of the trend. Do you understand? So for example, imagine that we are going to use the ray to connect a trend. We start from the top and then we connect just to the next one. When we start from the top and connect to the next one, we have what we call a trend line. The ray, it automatically extends very far into the future, right? So you don't need to stretch it like the way we would take the trend line and then connect, and then we will be the ones stretching it across. Do you understand? Okay. So when we are looking at price actions, there are 2 trends majorly. The first major trend that we have is uptrends, which means trends which are going up. For example, when you can see on my chart that from this point to that point, I'll put a vertical line there. Let's say from here to here. Oh, sorry. From here to here, from here all the way here to there, you see the trend is going up. Do you understand? So if the trend is going up, we can connect the trend from the lower, where the thing started lower, to the top as what? An uptrend. So for example, if when this thing was in motion, when it started, you want to connect it, you can use your tools and then connect it all the way up, right? Anyhow, you connect just 2 points, you connect all the way up like that. And you know that you have an uptrend. So one of the major trends is what? Uptrend. You understand? And then the other trends that we do have, we call them down trends. Do you understand? I'm doing that to show you how we connect the lines. Okay. So this is a vertical line I will put here. Let's color this one red. This one will be, let's say, yellow. And this one will be green. Right. Now, so we've connected from here to there as the uptrend, which means the trend is going up. So when the trend is going up, we connect it from the bottoms of the candlesticks. We're connecting, let's say we even want to connect it from here, for example. We want to just connect it just from the bottom of the candlestick to meet. From the bottom of the candlestick, just 2 points. It tells you that it is going up, right? Or we want to connect it to this point instead. We know that it is going up, because all we are saying is we are establishing the direction of trend. This is what uptrend. And then, for example, when we come here and we realize that the trend has now started going down, we connect another line, or we connect a line to depict that there is what? A down trend. And when we are using down trends, we don't connect it from the bottom, but we connect it from the top. So, for example, we'll connect it this way. From the top here, let's say all the top. Now, 2 points. So let me color that one maybe orange. So we have two types of trains which are going up and trains which are coming down. Do you understand? I'm going to clear the screen and then we'll go through the price actions over time and we'll look at the various up trends and down trends. Okay. We have a third trend which is called a sideways trend, but the sideways trend, we've more or less covered it without knowing. Okay. So when we go back and look at price action, let me zoom in. Over time, we're on the 4-hour time frame. We're on the 4-hour time frame. Let's change it to the 1 day, the daily time frame, and see what we can get. All right. So for example, you see, price started from a way higher and it came all the way down to the downtrend. And it went up in an uptrend. And it came down in a downtrend. And it went up in an uptrend. And it came down here to a downtrend. I'm trying to let you know that price does not move in one direction, like it will move up, 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 up. It will move maybe down and move up a bit, down and move up a bit, down and move up a bit, down and move up. Yes. So there are times when you find yourself you are in the downtrend. There are times when you find yourself that you are in an uptrend. And there are also times when you find yourself that the price really is not going up, it's not going down, but it is in what we will call a sideways market, or it is in a chopping market. So let's say a sideways market, just use a sideways market. So for example, let me show you something which is sideways. For example, if you look at this place very carefully, where I'm marking the triangle, you realize that price in this region wasn't really going up, up, up. It was up, down, up, down, up, down, like it's going side, 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 side. That's the one we call it what, a sideways market. You can also look at this one here, also looks a bit like what, a sideways market. Do you understand? So this place is like a sideways, that's a sideways market. But I'm just only showing you that there could be also a sideways market. But generally, price would move in two trends, either up or down. So in this case, we have the downtrend here. And when you are drawing the downtrend, I said, you connect the bars from the top. Do you understand? To this thing. And when you are connecting it on the uptrend, you connect the bars from the bottom. Let's go back and then we'll just do that for the last time and then we'll proceed from there. So let me take these out. And then let's move from the daily to the 4-hour. Okay, we are just going to connect a few trends, all right? So let's start connecting from here, from the uptrend here. So we are connecting this from the uptrend. So when you're connecting it from the uptrend, we connect it from the bottom. We connect it from the bottom. Connections from the uptrend is done from the bottom. You understand? So let me put something there. To draw an uptrending line, you connect the candles. You connect the candles from from the bottom. So let's call that A. Let's get about 16. All right. So that's one. To draw an uptrend line, you connect the candles from the bottom. So we are going to draw one here. So we take either this thing, our trend line, connect it from here to here. So we're going up, or we can connect it base anywhere, so long as we have 2 points, an inception point and then a connection point. Because what happens is as price keeps moving, we will change the connections, the two connections of our trend. So for example, when price was here, if we're drawing a trend line, the trend line will come there. When price moved and it came here and we are drawing our trend line, we extend it there. You understand? And price moved again, price settles somewhere there. So we will connect our trend line there. You understand? Because where the latest price action is, that is where your connections would be. And that is one way of drawing trend lines. I'll show you another way. So, but in general, we are trying to say that this is a trend line which is showing an uptrend. Okay, let's do another one. This also, we can draw a trend line here, which is showing an uptrend. So we take our trend line, or let's use this thing, an array. So we take the array. If you want to go here, you get the array. Take the array, and then you start from the bottom here. You connect to any two. So this is connecting to that one or that one. And let's make it yellow as usual, because that is what we've written, I think. Do you understand? So that is a trend line, which is an upward trend line. Okay, now let's continue. Now we're looking at what? Downward trend lines or downtrends. We are looking at downtrends. Okay, so downtrend, we can say that to connect downtrends, we connect the candlesticks from the top to the bottom, from the top of the candles to draw a downtrend. You see, so for example, let me just put it in text, then you have it. Okay, so text. To connect a downward trend, comma, we connect the candlesticks from the candlesticks on the tops. Okay, so let's use a different color, green. Oh, no, let's use something like that. Do it. So that is what we're saying. To connect a downward trend, we connect the candlesticks on the tops. So for example, this is a clear downward trend that we can see. So let's connect it now using first a trend line. So we connect it. Let's change the color nicely to depict our writing. So we connect it from the top. So let's say we've connected this from the top. Just 2 points. And then as time goes on, we can say, okay, we want to change the connection. Another 2 points. Okay. And then that's it. So let's say we come to another side. Let's go to another side. We want to connect it from there down. And then we want to use an array to do that. So let's take this. Oh, escape. Let's use the array. Connect it from the top. From the top here. An array connected from the top there. Let's change the color. You understand? So it shows that we are connecting this from the top using an array. That is trend lines, connecting it from an upward trend and then connecting it on the downward trend. Fine. Now let me clear this chart. And then we will put what we call channels in there, right? So to create channels are very simple. Do you understand? Channels are trend lines, or there are 2 trend lines. One at the top of the price actions and one at the bottom of the price actions. Let me demonstrate it, then you see. So for example, we know that from here going in this area, right? Or in this very area, let me come and box it. In this area, yeah, we know that price is in a downward trend. Do you understand? But you can almost clearly see that price is in a downward trend in this region, from that to that, and then almost like from that to that. Do you understand? Meaning that we can comfortably say that when price came here, it went all the way almost to the top of that, and then came down almost to the bottom of that. And it didn't reach the top. And it came almost to the bottom. It went to the top. It came almost to the bottom. It went to almost to the top. It came almost to the bottom. And then it just went sideways and it went to the top. What it is this is what we call a channel. Do you understand? So a channel is like a trend which it's been guarded. We've created a kind of a tunnel within which price is running. So you can see that price is running within a range, and there's almost like the clear top of a range or the lower base of that range. So this is a channel. This channel, we call it a downward trending channel. Do you understand? That same way, we can look at an upward trending channel. Let's come here and see. For example, here, we know that price is clearly going up. So let's take our box. Let's box that area. Let's box that area nicely. And then based on what we can see, we can just take our trend listing line. And so, okay, price looks like it is running in a particular channel. Do you understand? So you can see that price was running in this channel, even though it was going up. So it means that it hits the top of that channel, came down, hit the top, came down, went a bit of a sideways, hit the top, came down. So this is channels. Do you understand? Let me take this thing off. You don't need a box literally to that. This is a channel. Do you understand? So these are channels. And then we also treated what we call trend lines. Okay, I hope we are clear on this one. Now, if we are clear on this one, we want to go back and pick our support and resistance or our psychological levels and then combine it with our trend lines and see how it looks. Okay, so before then, on the 4-hour, we've created our support and resistance, or let's say we've created our psychological levels. Do you understand? Personally, I trade with psychological levels. So let's say I've created my psychological levels is in the folder. And then when I did create my psychological levels in that folder, where's my psychological? Okay, I have created my psychological levels on the 4-hour. It doesn't look like the 4-hour to me. Okay. Okay, this one looks like the psychological level is on the daily, but I'll create it on the 4-hour. I'll create some support and resistance on the 4-hour, and then we would add our trend lines. Okay, so for example, this is about, let's say 75, all right, and the highest is probably 245. Let's pick it from here, like 240. Okay, let's go and change this. We're creating psychological levels. Let's see, 240. 240 is here. Here we said it's going to be 75. All right. So if we want to divide this equally to give us psychological levels, we could go by this thing, support and resistance. You see, so let's do support and resistance, and then we'll go and do psychological level. Support. So what I'm doing with the support and resistance, as a quick revision, I'm looking at places where price on the candlesticks stack together. So this is one. As you go up, you can even see one here. They stack together, these two candles. So you can put one here, right? As you go up, you see there's a group of them here. You come down, there's a group of them here. There's some here, some there. You know what I mean? And as you go up, you can also see some even there. So, but this is support and resistance that I'm using. You go up, you see some here. Okay, so this is support and resistance. When we finish this, we would adjust the lines into psychological levels. Okay, so let's say I have this one. Now, I've done this. I have created my folder nicely. I've called it the 4-hour, 4HR. This is no psychological levels yet, so we cannot put PSL, 4HR, okay? So now, I'm saying that, okay, fine, even though we have our support and resistances, we can also see that there is a clear trend here. There's a clear trend from this direction. So I'll go into it. In that area, it's okay. We are in the trend. So let me just take my array and connect this array, change it to the color that we are working with. And that's okay, fine. So this sits there as a clean array that in this range, we are trading down. Do you understand? So meaning that when price came, it went up here and then hit it. It came down, it went up here, it couldn't go beyond it. It came down, it went up there, couldn't go beyond it. It came down, it went up here, we couldn't go beyond it. That is how you put the trend lines and the support and resistances together. Okay, now let me go into other ones and we can see examples of things that I've done in the past with trend lines and then psychological levels. Okay, now let me go and see what I've got here. So I've got the PSL, which is a psychological level 4 hours, and I've opened it, right? Let me just, I did this PSL on the 4 hour, yeah? Now, so now that I've done this PSL, you can see that I've got clear trend lines in there. Let me close this. Close. Oh, sorry. So let's see. All right. I'll open it here. You realize that I'm just turning off the trend lines. Where's the other one? Can't see that trend line. All right. Can't even see that trend line. Where is it? Right. Yeah, there. There it is. So I'm going to move it to that folder. Now, so what I did first was I did my psychological levels, right? Which is this one that I created. When you watch the other videos, you know how to create psychological levels. And then I realized that this psychological levels, even though I've done psychological levels, there's trend lines. There are trends which we can connect based on psychological levels. One of the trends was that this one is a trend which was tells you like the price action is going up. So I connected it from here to just the next point. This one was a previous trend. So it was from the top coming down. You understand? And there's a third one, which was the previous trend coming down. Do you understand? And then I save them all in one folder, right? Now, when I go into that folder and I want to turn off some of the trends, I can just turn them off in the PSL. That's the psychological level 4 hour. I can just turn them off. You know what I mean? I can just turn them off. So for example, this trend, we don't need it now. This previous trend, we don't need it now. What is the current is this one. Do you understand? So this is a combination of psychological levels and then trend lines. I think that is the end, literally the end of the lecture now. So it is now 30 minutes. So I'm just going to stop the recording and then I will open the floor for questions